my favorite parts of this exhibition are some examples of footwear. So we have some children's sandals here, we have some adult sandals, and then we even have some pieces that were made out of leather. Those would have been worn in the winter. I'm Samantha Honati, and I'm the Visitor Experience Manager, so I oversee daily operations here in our exhibits building. So the museum was founded in 1928 by Mary Russell Farrell Colton and Harold Colton, and they had a great interest in sharing a love of the Colorado Plateau with the greater community and the wider world. And they also really wanted to preserve the history and the material culture of the region. A lot of their efforts went into talking about the arts, archaeology, anthropology, biology, zoology.
My name is Kirsten Ullman Phillips, and I'm the Botany Collections Manager at the Museum of Northern Arizona. And we are in the Easten Collection Center. And this is where we house all of our specimens that really need to be protected in terms of environmental quality. So this building is humidity controlled, it's temperature controlled. So this was a project done in the early 30s. The idea of the project was to go to the Hopi tribe and talk to them about the crops that they were growing at that time. They're doing an extended project where they are interviewing the ancestors of the people who gave us these corn specimens and the memories that they have and what these things mean to them. And it was a really interesting project to witness about these seeds and how important the seeds and how important the plants were to their cultures and their ceremonies and their lives.
Right now we're standing on top of the living roof of the Easten Collection Center. It was one of the first bioregional living roofs in the American West. Living roofs do a lot of things. One is they prevent runoff, and so the plants on the roof use a lot of rain. They can help protect the building and help buffer the temperature so it stays cooler. And then they provide habitat for birds and animals. I'm Jan Busco. I'm a research botany associate here at Museum of Northern Arizona. My job here is pretty much to be a voice for and a steward for the plants here. We're on 200 acres, and a lot of that is natural space. We have some wonderful gardens. Really, my role is to try to make sure that we do a great job of taking care of our land and all of the animals and all of the things that depend on the plants at the museum.
We usually welcome people into the museum first here in our archaeology gallery, and I think it gives people a really good overview of the history of the region, especially the people who lived here. And you can see through examples of pottery, jewelry, basketry, and another good example is different tools that they used. Native and indigenous people of the region have really played a large role in the history of the museum. They were also involved in the everyday operations of the museum. So when I graduated from college, I started working here at the museum, and I was so excited to tell my family, and then I told my grandpa, and he said, "Yeah, you're just like your great-grandpa." And I was like, wow. What? And I didn't know that my great-grandpa actually used to work here at the Museum of Northern Arizona, and he worked directly with Mary Russell Farrell Colton. So here's a photo of him, Mary Russell Farrell Colton, Catherine Bartlett, and then here's my great-grandpa, Sam Singoitua. So this is our Babi Gallery. This gallery really does a wonderful job of showcasing a lot of items from our permanent collection. As we go through, we can see Zuni pottery here. And this talks about the importance that pottery plays in Zuni culture. And then also in our Babi Gallery, we do have some beautiful examples of jewelry from our region. In particular, we highlight jewelry from the people of the Rio Grande Pueblos, and then also Navajo, Hopi, and Zuni.
So this is some of our Navajo jewelry collection, and obviously a lot of silver, a lot of turquoise. In these cases we have historical pieces sitting right next to more contemporary pieces. Really the most use that our collections get these days is from groups of Native artists themselves. Usually an instructor will come in with a group of their students. And this is a picture right here of Gerald Loma Ventama. He's a master Hopi silversmith, has a shop up on Second Mesa, and he's talking about the history of Hopi silver overlay and educating his students about what that artistic tradition means to him, and really trying to encourage a whole new generation of potential artists to go into that art form.
So this is our Native Peoples of the Colorado Plateau Gallery. So this took over 5 years in the making, and it really highlights 10 different cultures and tribes of the Colorado Plateau. One of the coolest parts of the exhibition is our welcome wall, which as people come in, they can have a seat and they can watch this video of different consultants that we've worked with for this project. And they welcome everyone into the gallery in their own traditional language.
Gamuje, du mahanje, ma.
We worked with the consultants to pick out pieces from our permanent collection for them to really have a say in what they wanted on display. As a Native or Indigenous person of the region, it's really refreshing to learn about who the other people are of the region and then the rich history that they have. So you'll notice throughout the museum there are some beautiful skylights, and that's important because it's kind of conveying a sense of time, the passing of days, so the items can experience day and then night. Landscape is such an important part of who we are, and it's nice that we're able to kind of showcase that in our table here through the different words and names for the Grand Canyon, and then what they mean for different people through their own personal statements here. I think this says it so well. So the Grand Canyon is a home, a place of origin, and sacred to Native peoples of the Colorado Plateau. It's the home of deities, the source of salt and red pigment, a place of ancestor spirits, and a giver of new life. At the beginning of the exhibition, there's a quote from one of our consultants, and she pointed out that knowledge is a responsibility and that we are given knowledge traditionally at a certain time, and we're only given that knowledge when we're deemed ready for it. And I think it's a good point to share with our visitors, because it's really nice to kind of share with them that way of being and that way of knowing.